All right, what's up guys? In this video I want to talk about men's indiscretions and why I think women that end marriages, take the kids, and untie the knot over a minor indiscretion are incredibly selfish. Before you click away, I want you to understand that there are some intricacies that are involved that most people don't contemplate. In this video I'm going to explain them all to you, and you may, if you have an opposite opinion of what I've just stated, change your mind. Let me frame it by first reading something that I came across on my Facebook feed this morning. It's just one of these images, and it states, if I know that my husband has cheated on me, but he'll never admit it, what should I do? He still works with that person and sees her every day, more than he sees me and our kids, looking for advice. The first gal that has the most uprated piece of advice states, leave and never look back, which is very, very common. You're going to get this a lot from the ladies. Have some dignity for yourselves, ladies, and just leave and never look back. He's wronged you. Go in, untie the knot, and move forward. So in this case, I shared this on Twitter X, and I stated, is her knee-jerk advice the right advice to follow? Here's my alternative view. I think that women that end marriages, alienate a father from his kids, think that they can do better on the other side, and steal the family wealth in divorce court are incredibly selfish over minor indiscretions. Again, stick with me, I'm going to explain. Single mother households put children in massive danger. They all have significantly higher risks of teenage pregnancy, gang activity, drug addiction, suicide attempts, bad grades, becoming school shooters, runaway teens. The vast majority of the incarcerated today come from single mother households. This is a fact. I'm going to post a link to some studies below in the description. You can also use Google and find them yourselves. The question I ask is, did he take on a mistress, buy her a house, put a baby in her, and start a secret life on the side? If not, and he's a good father, a good provider, stop being a brat, be a good wife and a mother, and move past it, raise the kids, and leave him when that's done if you're still butthurt at that time. Cutting off your nose to spite your own face is never a good idea. And men, you guys out there, I put in brackets the simps, before you go and call yourself loyal and crap on this or say that it is scumbag advice, you can't go and call yourself loyal if you don't have options. I'm going to say it again. You need to have options to call yourself loyal. The vast majority of men out there, they don't have options. They don't have women pursuing them actively, and they deny them. They just don't have the options. They're the average frustrated chump that maybe gets starfish sex once every month or two, and they're sitting there in the comments going, this is scumbag advice, Rich, alternate take, please, whatever. Again, stick with me. I'm going to explain. Most married men have zero options actively pursuing them again. So what I want to do is, well, first let's start up this Spider RS, hit the road, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get into explaining this a little bit further, the differences between men and women stepping out. First things first, I'm going to say this. Setting aside whether it's right or wrong for a guy to do what he did, never mind that in this video. What I want to talk about is the reason why these things happen, the differences between it all, and some alternate solutions to just leave and never look back, because I don't think that's good advice. You are disserving your children. If you are a mom that has small children, they're not teens or adults, it is unwise to untie the knot and think that you're going to do better on the other side by going through the divorce courts, taking half the family wealth, using the kids. In many cases, the children are alienated from the father because she is spiteful or butthurt because of what happened. So let's start by saying this. First of all, not all cheating is created equally. There is a difference between what men do and what women do when it comes to stepping out in the relationship. When men step out, it's called cheating, okay? It's more or less, they want variety. Women will never understand what it's like to live in a body where you have about 20 times the testosterone level of what you have. Ladies, you're just not going to understand. Testosterone is a primary sex drive. Any man that sees an attractive woman that gives indicators of interest, a wink, a wiggle, a smile, doesn't matter what it is, any man will look at that and think to himself, oh yeah, I like that. I'd like to get some of that. Doesn't matter if he's married or not. They may choose to ignore it. They may choose to say, I'm going to look the other way for whatever reason. They may choose to indulge. I don't really care. The point of this video is not to judge the guys for stepping out. The point of this video is to clarify that I think that minor indiscretions, when women leave a marriage and take the kids and untie the knot, alienate the father, which is almost always associated with the untying of the knot at this point. Remember, women initiate divorces about 8 times out of 10. It's very, very high. I don't think this is something worth ruining the kids over. The vast majority of households today, I'm not saying over 50%, about 43% of households today are single mother households. You are leaving your kids at a strong disadvantage by taking them away from the father. Girls have their periods sooner. They indulge in more promiscuous activity sooner. The chances of the propensity of a teenage pregnancy goes up dramatically for girls when the father's been removed from the picture. You might go and say, sure, but screw him. He shouldn't have stepped out. Why did he cheat on her? You know, blah, blah, blah. Fine, he did something. But did he go the full 9 yards? Did he go and buy her a house? Did he create another family with her? Did he steal the resources and wealth from the existing family to give it to this other girl? Because the vast majority of the time, that's not the case. It's the guy that travels, he was lonely, his wife has been disrespectful to him, maybe his wife's family has been egging him on or browbeating him, and he's like, you know what, I'm 4,000 miles away, I'm working, I'm at a conference, I'm whatever, I'm just gonna go to an app and go and find some escort or something else. And it's just exercise for him. There's no connection, there's no romantic love, there is nothing beyond legit a few minutes of exercise. Is that worth untying the knot? Is that worth punishing the children for, and then him as a consequence of that, over a few minutes of a dumb idea? I've even seen guys where they don't even go through with it, and then these escorts, or whatever it is you want to call them, they get butthurt. They find a way to go and contact her family and find ways to try to expose this on him, which is just stupid. Nothing even happened, and you're going to leave him over that? You're going to ruin your kids' lives? You're going to remove the father from the household? Again, set aside what he did. Think about what it is that the woman is going to do at that point as a consequence of that, as a remedy, as a retribution for what he did to wrong her so badly. Again, I've seen guys do this. A rub and tug, something basic, exercise, something with a girl at work at the Christmas party the one time she's no longer there. It doesn't matter. If he's not going all in on this thing, I don't see it as a reason to untie the knot, ruin the children, and cut off your own nose to spite your face. Let's talk about the differences now between when men step out and when women do it. Men, it's called cheating. When women do it, it's a betrayal. Here's the difference. When women cheat, it's a betrayal because it's over. The relationship is generally over when a woman betrays a man. She goes through long lengths of deception, ways to try to hide it. Women are a lot better at hiding cheating than men. And by the way, women cheat more than men. This has been studied, doing that in quotations, because when you do the studies, it relies on the participant in the questionnaire being honest. And cheating for women is not a good thing. It makes them look very bad. Historically, it resulted in slut shaming, so it's not a good look on them. So they will be deceptive when taking these studies and surveys. Where the accurate information comes from is from psychotherapists, from marriage counselors when they have the one-on-one sessions with the wife. And these people have told me time and time again, it's the women that are doing more of the cheating, not the guys. So remember, when a guy does it, he can do it with no strings attached, forget about it. It's not even on the radar screen for him. But for women, it's almost always over in the relationship. Men and women do it differently. Men are sloppy, women are very careful. They're methodical and they find ways to hide it. When they do it, it's because they're generally in love with the guy. It's not very often that women find a way to date multiple men simultaneously and sleep with them all and not form any kind of attachment. Women form attachments to men faster than men form attachments to women. We know this is a statement of fact because women, when they try to hold out on dating before they get intimate with a guy, realize when the intimacy happens, when she starts having great enthusiastic sex with them, it's orgasmic, she becomes bonded to him. Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is why when I make the statement, it pisses off a lot of people. I get called a scumbag, I get called all kinds of names. Go read Esther Perel's Mating in Captivity. It's a fantastic book. She wrote this years ago. I've mentioned it before. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not. You can figure that out for yourself. What I'm saying is contemplate what is up with the children. What is going to happen to the kids if you untie the knot take them from the father, steal half the wealth, and then begin to alienate him because you are upset. The other risk that comes as this, which almost nobody contemplates and nobody but me talks about, is when a woman leaves a guy and then starts dating. Let's say she's got 3 kids, a couple of girls and a boy. They're all young. They're all under the age of 12 or 13. The biggest risk factor to small children is a non-blood relative in that household exposed to that children on a regular basis. If you want to expose your kids to a very high degree of risk, I'm not going to spell it all out for you, but let's use the word grapes as an example. If you want to expose your kids to that kind of a risk, put a non-blood relative male in the household around your children and watch what can happen. It has happened often, it has happened frequently, and it is not good for kids. I can't count how many gals I've talked to after I got divorced that told me what ended up happening in their childhood because their mom untied the knot over a small indiscretion and thought she was doing the right thing for the children, but it screws them up. And then I got to deal with the baggage, which I don't deal with, by the way. You can take a look at my red flag chapter, which if you opt into my email list below, it breaks down the 21 red flags that you want to avoid. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. You let me know what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Is this something that you've experienced? Have you changed your opinion on this? I think it is something that is worth some thinking about, that is worth some deep thought before you go and ruin your kids over something small. Like I said, if he loves your family, if he pays and provides for the household, for the children, for you, looks after things, shows up at all the events, the summer vacations, the weddings, everything, but steps out and does something stupid, I don't think it is a wise choice for a mom to go and do the absolute worst thing to a guy that loves his family and his kids, especially the children. This is all about the kids, and untie that knot and screw everything up. Think about it. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Pin in the top comment, a bunch of useful links, including my School of Unplugging. Go check it out. You're going to love it. Peace out.
I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you want to play tough and want to hate this, I'll always show up.